You've probably heard this saying, and first impressions are everything. And when it comes to your home, the very first thing people notice isn't your door, windows, or even the roof. It's your landscaping. Those shrubs and plants surrounding your home play a huge role in shaping how it feels. They frame the space, draw the eye, and set the mood long before anyone even steps through the door. The problem? Most front yards fall flat because people tend to plant shrubs randomly without giving much thought to balance, contrast, or design flow. The result is often a yard that feels scattered or lifeless instead of cohesive and inviting. But don't worry, and today we're going to fix that. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 gorgeous shrub combinations that will completely transform your home's curb appeal. Each of these pairings isn't just about looks. They're carefully chosen for texture, proportion, and all-season beauty, so your yard looks amazing year-round, not just in summer. Let's get started. 1. Boxwood. Plus. Hydrangea, timeless elegance with all-season appeal. If you're aiming for a front yard that radiates sophistication and balance, the boxwood and hydrangea combination is a must. Think of it as the landscaping equivalent of black and white. Crisp, classic, and endlessly stylish. Imagine walking up a path bordered by neat, deep green boxwoods, each one shaped perfectly into rounded mounds or elegant squares. Behind them, soft clouds of hydrangea blossoms billow upward, their blooms glowing in shades of creamy white, pale pink, or cool lime green. Together, they strike the perfect balance. Structure meets softness, formality meets romance. Boxwoods serve as the foundation. Evergreen, sturdy, and beautifully consistent. Even when winter strips other plants bare, boxwoods remain vibrant and sculptural, giving your garden a defined frame year-round. You can prune them into symmetrical shapes for a formal look, or leave them slightly looser for a natural feel. Either way, they bring a sense of order and luxury to your landscape. Hydrangeas, on the other hand, are your showstoppers, bringing seasonal drama with their large, lush blossoms. Varieties like Annabelle, Limelight, and Little Lime are perfect choices. Annabelle produces brilliant white, globe-like flowers that glow even in twilight. Limelight starts a fresh green before fading to creamy ivory, offering months of visual interest. When planted together, boxwoods and hydrangeas create depth and rhythm in your yard. To achieve that layered designer look, place boxwoods about 18 to 24 inches apart to form a low, structured border. Then plant hydrangeas roughly 3 to 4 feet behind them to give each one room to expand and breathe. The result? A landscape that feels rich and dimensional, not crowded but full and intentional. Both plants prefer well-drained soil. Hydrangeas love consistent moisture and partial sunlight, while boxwoods thrive in slightly drier conditions with at least a few hours of direct light. A layer of mulch around the roots helps maintain soil moisture and temperature balance, keeping both plants happy. In winter, when hydrangeas lose their leaves, your boxwoods will still stand strong, green and polished, framing the space. Then comes summer, those vibrant hydrangea blooms return, softening the structure and creating that effortless estate garden look. For an extra touch of elegance, add soft landscape lighting. A few low uplights placed near the hydrangeas or boxwoods will create a warm nighttime glow, casting gentle shadows and adding depth even after dark. This pairing isn't just landscaping, it's storytelling. The boxwood and hydrangea duo exudes timeless charm, the kind that makes your home feel elegant, expensive, and perfectly composed, no matter your budget. 2. Lavender. Plus roses, the romantic cottage dream. Now let's take a stroll into a different mood, one that feels like stepping into a countryside garden at sunset. Lavender and roses are the perfect pairing for those who love gardens that stir the senses, where sight, scent, and emotion blend into one unforgettable experience. The first thing that greets you isn't the sight. It's the fragrance. The soothing aroma of lavender mingles with the sweet, classic perfume of blooming roses. It's the scent of warm summer evenings, lazy afternoons, and peace. Then your eyes take in the sight. Silvery green lavender leaves paired with the soft pinks, whites, or reds of roses swaying above them. It's romance in plant form. But this pairing isn't just about beauty, it's smart gardening. Lavender actually protects roses. It naturally repels pests like aphids and beetles that often plague rose bushes, acting as a built-in shield for your blooms. That means fewer chemicals, fewer pests, and more time enjoying your flowers. Both plants thrive in full sun and well-drained soil, so they share the same environmental needs. That's what makes them such a perfect match. Here's how to make the most of this dreamy combination. Use compact lavender varieties such as English lavender, lavandula, angustifolia, or Munstead. These stay neat and low, forming beautiful borders that gently spill fragrance as you walk by. Behind the lavender, plant your roses, about 12-18 inches apart, so their blooms rise elegantly above the lavender's purple mist. The layering creates a soft gradient of height and texture that feels both natural and intentional. For roses, your options are endless. If you want low-maintenance, continuous blooms, go for knockout roses or drift roses. For the classic, lush look, try David Austin or tea roses, known for their full, fragrant blooms and old-world appeal. The effect is pure magic. Picture a sunlit walkway lined with lavender on both sides, brushing gently against your legs as you walk, releasing that calming scent into the air. Behind them, the roses burst into color: pink, peach, red, or cream, glowing softly in the morning light. It's not just a landscape, it's an experience. For best results, avoid overwatering. Both plants dislike soggy soil. Instead, water deeply but infrequently, letting the soil dry slightly between sessions. Once established, lavender becomes almost drought-proof, and roses with deep roots will thrive through short dry spells. Maintenance is easy but rewarding. After the first bloom, trim your lavender lightly to encourage a second flush of flowers. For roses, regularly deadhead spent blooms to keep new buds coming. Both plants respond beautifully to a little consistent care, giving you months of color and fragrance. To complete the picture, edge your beds with pale gravel or light stone mulch. Not only does it look charming, but it also reflects sunlight, keeping the soil warm and the lavender content. And if you want to elevate the effect even more, mix in a few catmint, nepeta, or salvia plants to extend your blooming season and attract pollinators like bees and butterflies. The combination of lavender and roses isn't just beautiful, it's emotional. It captures the serenity of the countryside, the timelessness of romance, and the joy of nature in perfect harmony. It's not just a garden, it's a living love story that greets you every time you come home. 3. Japanese Maple Plus Azalea, a symphony of color and texture. If you're dreaming of a front yard that makes people stop, stare, and smile, this combination is your showstopper. It's nature's version of fireworks, delicate one moment, dazzling the next. Picture the early morning light filtering through the lacy, feather-like leaves of a Japanese maple, each one shimmering with hues of ruby, bronze, or golden amber. Beneath it, a sea of azaleas bursts into bloom. A carpet of pinks, purples, corals, and whites, spreading like brushstrokes of color across the garden floor. Together, they create a composition that feels both peaceful and striking. A masterpiece of balance between serenity and vibrancy. The Japanese maple is all about refinement and movement. Its elegant, cascading branches and finely cut leaves add vertical interest and gentle flow to your yard. Every breeze makes the leaves shimmer, catching the light like flickering flames. Choose compact varieties such as Bloodgood, Emperor Uri, or Amukiyama. Each known for vivid color and manageable size that suits front yard gardens beautifully. Now complement that airy grace with the lush, grounded beauty of azaleas. Their glossy foliage and clusters of spring blooms fill the lower layer of your landscape with energy and color. The contrast between the maple's delicate form and the azalea's dense, rounded base creates visual balance. It's as if a Japanese garden met a spring meadow, combining calm structure with cheerful exuberance. What makes this pairing especially perfect is how compatible they are. Both plants love the same growing conditions: partial sunlight, moist but well-drained soil, and a touch of acidity. A spot with morning sun and dappled afternoon shade is ideal. Enrich the soil with organic matter like compost or pine bark mulch to help retain moisture and maintain that gentle acidity azaleas and maples thrive in. When planting, give the Japanese maple a slightly elevated position, maybe on a mound, slope, or raised bed, and nestle azaleas around or just in front of it. This layering creates a tiered, natural look that adds depth and dimension to your front yard, making it appear professionally landscaped even if you did it yourself on a lazy Saturday afternoon. As the seasons change, this duo keeps the show going. In spring, azaleas steal the stage with their vibrant blooms. In summer, their green foliage supports the Japanese maple's graceful canopy. By autumn, the maple explodes into fiery shades of scarlet, amber, and burgundy, a living bonfire of color that turns heads from down the street. And when winter comes, the bare sculptural branches of the maple offer structure and elegance against the snow or frost. Maintenance is simple but rewarding. Prune your Japanese maple lightly in late winter or early spring, just enough to keep its silhouette open and balanced. Trim azaleas right after their blooms fade to avoid cutting off next year's buds. A fresh layer of pine mulch each year keeps the soil acidic, prevents weeds, and gives your garden that polished, finished look. If you want to take the atmosphere to the next level, tuck in a few shade-loving companions like ferns, hostas, or heucheras near the base. They'll enhance the woodland feel and fill in empty spaces with texture. For nighttime charm, add a soft garden spotlight beneath the maple. The light will dance through the branches and reflect off the azaleas, creating a magical, dreamlike effect after dark. This combination isn't just a planting idea, it's an experience. It's art that moves and breathes with the seasons. The Japanese maple and azalea pairing turns your front yard into a sanctuary. Calm yet alive, refined yet inviting. A perfect expression of nature's quiet elegance and balance. 4. Spirea plus barberry, the effortless color power couple. Now let's move from delicate elegance to bold energy. Because if you want color that lasts all season with almost no effort, Spirea and barberry are your dream team. This combo is the landscaping equivalent of a stylish outfit that always looks good. Vibrant, modern, and practically self-maintaining. Start with Spirea, the soft and romantic partner of the two. These resilient shrubs grow in graceful mounds that erupt with masses of tiny blooms in late spring and early summer. Depending on the variety, you'll get clouds of white, pink, or deep magenta blossoms that attract bees, butterflies, and admiring neighbors alike. When the flowers fade, the show isn't over. Their foliage turns brilliant shades of gold, orange, and red in autumn, carrying color through the entire growing season. Now introduce barberry, the bold contrast that makes Spirea pop. Unlike most shrubs, barberry doesn't rely on flowers. Its leaves are the main attraction. Varieties like Crimson Pygmy, Royal Burgundy, or Golden Rocket bring deep maroon, rich purple, or bright chartreuse tones that hold strong from spring through fall. Even under blazing summer heat, their color stays vivid and intense. When planted together, Spirea and barberry form a perfectly balanced duo. The soft, rounded form and fine flowers of Spirea play beautifully against the crisp, angular branches and vivid foliage of barberry. It's texture meeting structure, pastels meeting drama. A pairing that looks intentionally designed, but requires very little upkeep. Both shrubs are tough and adaptable. They thrive in full sun, handle dry conditions once established, and aren't picky about soil. Even rocky or poor soil works fine. They're also pest and pollution resistant, which makes them ideal for city gardens or busy homeowners who want beauty without the maintenance grind. Here's a simple design strategy. Use barberry as your anchor. Plant them in a clean line along your walkway, driveway, or foundation to create structure and color contrast. Then fill in the spaces between or just in front of them with Spirea clusters. The bright blooms of Spirea will stand out beautifully against the dark foliage of barberry, and when autumn comes, both shrubs will blaze with color, giving your front yard a fiery, full-bodied look. To enhance the colors even further, choose the right mulch. Dark brown or black mulch makes the red and gold tones of barberry pop, while natural bark mulch complements Spirea's warm hues. Maintenance couldn't be easier. Spirea loves a light trim after it finishes blooming. This encourages new growth and sometimes a second round of flowers. Barberry, meanwhile, only needs shaping once a year to maintain its neat form. Both are naturally compact and tidy, so you won't spend weekends pruning. For style flexibility, this pair adapts to almost any garden type. Want a clean, modern look? Go for low-growing varieties and keep the shapes rounded and even. Prefer a more relaxed, natural vibe? Let them spread a bit freely, blending into stones, gravel, or native grasses. Here's a pro tip. Pair them with neutral hardscaping materials like gray stone, brick, or gravel paths. The muted backdrop will make their colors explode with visual energy. Under the morning sun, Spirea blooms glow softly pink. Under the evening sun, barberry leaves shimmer like molten bronze. If your goal is to fill your front yard with color, texture, and visual excitement, without endless watering or care, this duo is unbeatable. Spirea plus barberry proves that beauty doesn't have to be high maintenance. Sometimes all it takes is the right combination of plants to turn simple into stunning. 5 ornamental grasses. Dwarf evergreens, when texture meets timeless structure. For those who love sleek, modern landscapes that stay visually stunning year-round, this combination is pure brilliance. It's where gentle movement meets structured form, where the rhythm of nature complements the sculpted precision of evergreens. Imagine this. Tall, wispy grasses swaying softly in the breeze, their seed heads glowing warmly in the late afternoon sun. Beside them, a row of compact evergreens stands calm and steady, maintaining deep green hues even in the cold of winter. It's a combination that feels curated by a professional designer, yet it's surprisingly easy to achieve on your own. Start with ornamental grasses such as blue fescue, fountain grass, or Japanese forest grass, Hakanekloa. These plants introduce motion, texture, and lightness. Soft, flowing forms that catch sunlight and wind, adding dynamic energy to your garden. Their airy shapes create the perfect foil for more solid, upright evergreens. Balance the movement with dwarf evergreens like dwarf Alberta spruce, boxwood, or globe arbor vitae. These shrubs provide structure and permanence, keeping your garden looking deliberate and composed even when other plants go dormant. Here's how to make this pairing truly pop. Space the evergreens evenly to create a sense of rhythm and symmetry. Fill the intervals with ornamental grasses. The evergreens act as stabilizing anchors while the grasses inject life and flow. When a gentle breeze moves through the garden, the grasses dance while the evergreens remain composed. A beautiful interplay of soft and strong, wild and controlled. Maintenance is minimal. Cut back grasses once a year, ideally in late winter or early spring, just before new growth emerges. Evergreens require only occasional trimming to maintain their defined shapes. For added drama, use landscape lighting. Position soft spotlights to shine upward through the grasses and illuminate the evergreens. At night, shadows shift and textures shimmer, creating a front yard that is alive long after sunset. This combination fits both modern and naturalistic designs, whether lining a walkway, framing a driveway, or accentuating the entryway. It provides flowing movement in summer, steady structure in winter, and striking appeal all year. With the right selection and placement, ornamental grasses paired with dwarf evergreens prove that a garden can be elegant, intentional, and effortlessly maintained, season after season. 6. Rhododendron. Plus. Ferns, creating a shaded woodland oasis. Shaded front yards are often seen as challenging, but they're actually an opportunity to craft a serene, woodland-inspired retreat. Nothing captures this mood better than rhododendrons paired with ferns. This duo transforms any shaded corner into a lush sanctuary, cool, soft, and quietly magical. Rhododendrons take center stage with their broad, glossy leaves and stunning clusters of spring blooms. Their flowers, ranging from pink to white, lavender to red, add vivid splashes of color even in low-light areas, and their evergreen foliage maintains lush greenery long after the blooms fade. At their base, plant ferns. Their graceful, feathery fronds arch outward, filling spaces between the rhododendrons and creating a layered, textured look. The contrast between the rhododendron's bold, evergreen leaves and the fern's delicate foliage produces a natural, harmonious feel, reminiscent of a peaceful forest floor. Opt for fern varieties such as Japanese painted fern, lady fern, or autumn fern to introduce subtle variations in color and texture. Both rhododendrons and ferns thrive in similar conditions: slightly acidic, well-drained soil, cool roots, and dappled sunlight. Cover the ground around them with pine needles or bark mulch to retain moisture, maintain soil acidity, and reinforce that woodland aesthetic. For a visually balanced design, place rhododendrons slightly behind or to the side as a backdrop, letting their height and mass frame the area. Position ferns in front or beneath them, creating a soft, understory layer that feels organic and seamless. When the morning dew clings to fern fronds and filtered sunlight catches the rhododendron blooms, the scene exudes calm and serenity. Birds and pollinators are naturally attracted to this environment, adding life and sound to the tranquil setting. In spring, when rhododendrons burst into color, the combination evokes the beauty of a living painting. The best part? This pairing thrives in areas where many plants struggle. North-facing gardens, under tree canopies, or shaded entryways. They require minimal pruning, almost no fuss, and provide evolving beauty as the seasons progress. Add moss-covered stones, a small bench, or a winding path, and you have a private woodland retreat right in your front yard. Rhododendrons and ferns aren't just plants. They're the foundation of a serene, enchanting garden space that invites reflection, relaxation, and year-round admiration. 7. Holly. Camellia, evergreen elegance and winter charm. When winter hits and most gardens fade into dull, lifeless shades, yours doesn't have to follow suit. Enter the perfect pairing for cold season beauty. Holly and camellia. Together they deliver color, texture, and sophistication when nearly everything else is dormant. Start with holly, the classic symbol of timeless greenery. Its glossy, dark leaves remain vibrant throughout the year, and in winter, bright red berries appear like natural ornaments, bringing life and festive cheer to your landscape. Holly provides structure and presence, offering clean lines, symmetry, and a sense of permanence that anchors any front yard in all seasons. It's the architectural backbone of your garden, strong, reliable, and visually striking. Now add camellia, the winter surprise that injects elegance when you least expect it. While most plants are resting, camellias bloom with large, rose-like flowers in shades of red, pink, and white. Depending on the variety, these blooms can appear as early as October and last through February or March. Picture stepping outside on a crisp winter morning to find your front garden alive with soft, romantic blossoms. It's like stepping into a painting. From a design perspective, let holly provide the structural foundation. Plant it behind or beside camellias to create a rich, evergreen backdrop. Place camellias slightly forward so their flowers take center stage, capturing attention. The combination forms depth, contrast, and a sense of flow, blending formality with a welcoming, natural appeal. Both plants thrive in partial sun and slightly acidic, well-drained soil. Mulching around their roots helps retain moisture and keeps the soil cool, making maintenance minimal while ensuring long-term health and visual impact. With this duo, your garden is never empty. In summer, holly's glossy leaves dominate. In fall, berries and buds begin forming. In winter, camellias burst into bloom. And in spring, the cycle refreshes again. Planting them near pathways or your front entryway lets you enjoy them up close. The holly leaves glistening in sunlight, while camellia petals gently fall like delicate confetti. This combination is elegant, festive, and perpetually green. A reminder that even during the coldest months, your garden can remain vibrant, lively, and enchanting.